Here's our vocabulary lesson for this week. Our first word is attended. If we look, it looks like they're having a play, and attended is a verb. So let's say the word together attended. If you attended a place or event, you went to it. So our class attended the play in the school's auditorium. So everybody went to the play, so that means attended. Our next one is immigrant. So immigrant's a noun. So let's say that together. Immigrant. Immigrant is someone who moves to a country where he or she was not born. So an immigrant becomes a citizen of another country at a ceremony. So if you are from another country other than the United States, you are an immigrant. Our third word is wilderness. If we look, this elk is standing in the wilderness. Wilderness is a noun, so let's say it together. Wilderness. And wilderness is a large area of land not used by people. So it's a lot of trees and forest and everything. Many animals, such as deer, live in the wilderness. And our next word is settled. And if you look, this girl is settled in her chair. So, settled is a verb. Let's say it together. Settled. If you're settled into something, you become comfortable in it. So, this girl is comfortable in her chair. So, this is settled. Our next one is vanishing. And vanishing is a verb. Let's say it together. Vanishing. Something that's vanishing is going away. So, the sunlight made the hiker look like he was vanishing through the woods. Look right here, it's vanishing. And our next one is sword. Sword is a verb. Sword, let's say it together. Sword. If something soared, it rose up in the high in the sky. So this eagle soared high above the rocky cliffs. And I've told you about my university, the University of Auburn. We have eagles that soar in the stadium, the football stadium. And our next one is timeline, and this is what we're going to be studying about this week and reading. This is a timeline. It's a noun. So let's say it together, timeline. And a timeline is a visual that shows events in order that they happen. So chronological order. And the timeline shows the history of the change in the telephone. If you look, it starts at 1885 and it goes all the way up to the future. And this one is statements. And statements is a noun. So let's say it together, statements. And statements are words or sentences that people said or wrote to share information. So reporter asked the firefighter if he had any statements to make. And there he is, talking in the microphones. And our next one is arrange. It's a verb. So let's say it together, arrange. If you arrange things, you put them in a certain order. And we arrange these boxes in size order from biggest to smallest. And this is current. Current is adjective, so let's say it together. Current. If something is current, it's happening in the present time, so it's happening now. And people read newspapers to keep up with current events, or they watch the news to find out what's going on. And this one is ashamed. If you look at the puppy, he has ashamed that he got into the trash. Ashamed is also an adjective. And when you're ashamed, you feel bad about doing something you've done. And the dog looked ashamed when he knocked over the trash. And this one is elders. Elders are older people. Elders is a noun. Let's say it together. Elders. And elders are people that are older than you. I enjoyed listening to and learning from my elders. So this is an older person that is her elder. And our last one is overflowing. The water is overflowing. It's a verb. If something's overflowing, it's no more can fit into it. So the water is overflowing. Excuse me, the glass. And well, we actually have one more. Pride. Pride is a noun. And pride means you feel pride, you're pleased about something you did well. And the girl took pride in cleaning up the park. So there she is, pride. So these were our vocabulary for this week. We have pride, overflowing, elders, ashamed, current, arrange, statements, timeline, sword, vanishing, settled, wilderness,